Hello, yellow fellows, and Baldy Chris again. Time for some more yellow sticker madness. Quite late yellow sticker madness, as you can see. I was a bit later getting to the shop than I wanted to, for no very good reason at all. And initially, it did seem like it was going to limit the goodies that I got, but I just got some slightly more unusual things from different places, and then other stuff reappeared in the usual hotspots. Anyway, let's see what we've got without further ado. So we have got a whole roast chicken there at £1.63, which is very much going to be dinner tonight and probably used for some fancy sandwiches tomorrow as well. That's I haven't worked out the reduction there, but it's probably in the region of 75, 8%. I don't know. Someone with a calculator can correct me if I'm wrong on that anyway. And then also, probably for tonight, or at least partly for tonight, it is used by tomorrow. Rather than today. I did have to check the date there, it is the 26th. So we've got a grazing platter, and there was quite a few of these. They were £4, they've been marked all the way down to £1.20, so that's a 70% reduction for something that is good for at least another full day, and let's be honest, cooked meats are probably going to last even longer than the stated date as well. But that looks quite nice, and usually I just think, oh, that's too expensive, but £1.20, I will certainly have a go. What else do we have here? We've got a pork shank, which is a boned joint. I usually prefer boneless, but this turned up in the fridge on not the first visit, but the second visit. It's been marked down quite a long way, as you can see. Again, I haven't worked it out, but it certainly looks to be in the region of about 2/3 of the original value, down to just £1.67. So annoyingly, it is the pub quiz tomorrow night. I can't see me being able to fit making a roast around a trip to the pub quiz. So I might just take my chance on doing that the following day and just hope for the best. I know you shouldn't with pork, but it doesn't turn to poison at midnight, so we will see. We will see how that pans out. And I've got some ready meals as well. Now, some of these are going to have to go in the freezer. I did get them before I got the pork joint. But because they are freezable and probably can be cooked from frozen as well, I kept them in the trolley. So got now again, it's used by tomorrow and it is freezable, as you can see. So given that it's tomorrow, I don't know why they put such a big discount on there. So that's over 50%, probably 60%. I don't know. Again, guesswork. So I've got a spaghetti bolognese there. I think there was 2 of those that I got. Weirdly, those were actually cheaper than the Savers spaghetti bolognese that was marked down for today's date. Don't know why, but that was an easy choice. And then also not as good a reduction, but a meat feast pasta there, and again it's freezable, so that was £3.75 down to £2.81. So what are we looking at there? Yeah, around 20-25% reduction there, not too bad. Anyway, and like I say, those can be frozen if need be, which will probably be the case, what with the roast chicken and the roasting pork joint. These ones are definitely destined for the freezer. So we've got some turkey escallops there. They were, I think it's about 25% off there, down to 168. They are freezable. They can be cooked from frozen, so happy days. That's exactly what's happening with those. And the bacon's also destined for the freezer as well. It can't be cooked from frozen or less readily cooked from frozen, certainly. So you've got to be a bit more organised with it. It was half price though, down at £1.12. They had loads of those. I don't know why I only got the one. Maybe because I like my discounts bigger than 50%, but I've got some bacon anyway for a date in the future. Right, what next? So we've got some John West fridge pots there, and it's my favourite. It's 90% off, from £2 all the way down to 20p. It's tuna steaks in sunflower oil, and when's it best before? End of this month, so I haven't got too long to use it, but it is best before. So you can take liberties with best before. You shouldn't with use by. I've been known to, as I'm sure regular viewers will know. And although it's called a fridge pot, it actually doesn't need to be kept in the fridge. It can be, or it can be kept just at ambient temperature, is how they kept them in the store. So I don't know why they call it a fridge pot. It does say once opened, you should keep it in the fridge and use it within 2 days. Well, I can't envisage a circumstance where you wouldn't have that all done in one go. There's not that much in there. But anyway, there's a few bits of tuna. I got 4 of them all together for 20p. What comes next? So I've got some vegan pancake mix. This wasn't specifically yellow sticker, but it was on a clearance shelf. I think that was 75 pence. And from what I could see in the regular bacon aisle, should have been about 125. So looking at about 40% reduction there, I think. I haven't had pancakes in ages. All it requires is the addition of some vegan milk, or in my case, milk, because I haven't got any vegan milk and I'm not particularly fond of it. But yeah, we'll see how those goes. Hopefully it will be a relatively easy pudding to make. And I will probably experiment with some fruit fillings as well. You'll see why in a bit, because there's fruits, spoiler alert. What else do we have? We have some beef ramen things, or super noodles, whatever you care to call them, I guess. Those were 65, and it's basically a 90% reduction down to just 7p, so that makes for a very easy, very cheap snack as well. And what else? We've got some roses now. Now this is good. Marked all the way down, 90% down to just 40p. It is perhaps the flattest pack of roses that you've ever seen in your life. And I wouldn't guarantee that it's got absolutely all the contents in it, given that it's taped at the top and bottom. But anyway, there's Mother's Day sorted. No, I will probably just snack on those myself, or maybe take them in the office. I don't know. We'll see. What else do we have? It's more snacks, posh ones this time. So we've got the best Gruyere cheese and poppy seed twists, and again they were 90% off. I don't really know why. Oh, actually, I did check this earlier. They are significantly past their best before date, but as I say, best before does not equate to you have to use it by that date. It just means they will be past their best. So I suppose this would now make it Morrisons the good range rather than the best, or maybe it's the better still. I don't know. Anyway, I am sure they'll be fine, and they do sound quite tasty, I must admit. And 19 pence, I'm certainly prepared to have a punt on them. And I also got some veggie roast mix. I don't know, I wouldn't go out of my way to have a nut roast, for example. And weirdly, the recipe for this to make a nut roast, you actually have to add nuts to it. So this is mostly grains to fill things out. It was 125 down to 13p. I've got a couple of them, as you can see. And although it requires vegetables to be added to it to make a vegetable roast, it can be used on its own to make stuffing balls, stroke falafel. So you can see the instructions there for doing it just as falafel or stuffing balls. So that would probably actually go quite well with the pork joint as well, just some extra stuffing bits to go with that. So there we go. And then a similar sort of vein, we've got flaxseed biocultures and vitamin D. I think it is mostly seeds. And they were £3.30, but they've been marked down to 33p, and it shows you can chuck them in with bits of fruit. So again, I might have the opportunity to do that. Or maybe even throw it in a bit of cereal or something like that, to give it an extra little bit of nutritional value. I don't know, but 33p, again, prepared to have a bit of an investigation. So there's the suggestions. You can put some in porridge, yogurt, a smoothie, or on cereal. I knew I wasn't making the cereal up. There we go. So yeah, we'll see what those are like. I'm confident I've not tried them before. Wouldn't usually go out of my way to get seeds, especially not at £3.30. Anyway, now these cans here certainly look like tuna cans, but they're actually not. They're tofu chunks, as it says. But I guess they would do a similar sort of job for anyone who wants a vegan alternative to tuna. And they're marked down just to 15p again, so I got the 3 of them that I could find. There you are, all 3 of them, 15 pence. Happy days. And then we're getting close to the end there. Excuse the fingers. So what do we have now? We've got what was billed as being a whole Swede for 18 pence, but it's actually a head of cauliflower, a fairly small head of cauliflower, admittedly. But again, that'll probably go with the roast pork quite nicely. They did have some correctly labelled cauliflowers there, which I think they were actually intended to charge 28p for, so it was mislabelled and it was to my benefit that it was. So I took full advantage, of course I did. And I have a single passion fruit as well, which feels quite hard and relatively dry. I guess this is a fruit that dries out rather than goes squishy. And that was 80p, but now it's just 8p, so we'll have a go at that. And then I also have some more swede. There's actually two of them that are bagged up together for the 18p. This one I actually had to see the checkout services, customer services people at the end, because it went through at the full price rather than the reduced price, and something else that was marked as a shelf edge special offer discount went through at the full price as well. So to get something like about £1.20 refund, something like that. So as ever, check your receipt before you leave the shop. Just make sure that your discounts are going through at the proper amount. So again, those will go with the roast dinner quite nicely, and I have previously frozen swede to use later on in the casserole. It worked quite well. And what else do we have here? This is pure experimentation, because I don't know what a pomelo is. So if you know, help me out, let me know in the comments, we'll figure it out. It does look a little bit squishy on the one side, but not overly so. So I guess it will need to be used relatively quickly, and at 15p, I'm more than happy to experiment and try and figure out what it is. But like I say, if you want to let me know, please do fill me in. And then last couple of things from the bakery counter. So I've got a pumpernickel loaf, which was supposed to be £2, marked down 80% just to the 40p. I've had that before. It's very dense stuff, but it is pretty tasty. So I might serve up the chicken on some slices of that today, or maybe for lunch tomorrow. I don't know. And we also have a Coburg cob, which was meant to be 69p down to 14p. So again, it's about an 80% reduction on the bread there. So there we are. Slightly less in the way of fresh stuff compared to the usual hauls that I'd bring in. Certainly less high percentage discount fresh stuff, but I've done surprisingly well on some of the longer life items that usually don't really attract much attention from me on the visits that I do. But anyway, as ever, this has been a long video, hasn't it? If you're still with me, thanks for watching. I didn't realise it can take quite that long. As ever, if you do like what you've seen, usually in a slightly shorter format, then do please subscribe to the channel. That would be most appreciated. And liking and sharing is also most appreciated as well. It does help the channel out. And as ever, if you want to get in touch in the comments and let me know which things I've pronounced wrongly, which bits of maths I got wrong, and what the hell a pomelo actually is, then please do get in touch in the comments. I do read them all, and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. Alright, take care of yourselves. I will see you in the next Yellow Sticker Madness. Bye for now.